All righty. So welcome. We're going to do not quite a circuit training because I guess that is 6 different exercises, but we're going to do about 5 different exercises concentrating on our shoulders, our chest, and upper back. So if you have either or both, so I'm going to use 2 different straps. One is very stretchy, one is much tighter. And if you don't have these bands, resistance bands, weights will do just fine. You can use canned goods, you can use water bottles, you can hold blocks. So anything like that would be perfect. I'm going to start standing. And first, as we begin, let's just start to bring some movement to our shoulders. So we're just going to kind of roll through the shoulders, just warming up the joints. And then reversing that. Nice. And then we can bring our fingertips to our shoulders and make some circles with our elbows. And always remembering if something doesn't feel good, if something doesn't feel right, to skip it or change it in any way that works for you. And then we'll switch directions. Nice. And then let's bring our arms all the way out, just opening it up. We're going to turn the palms up, letting the heart lift. And then on the exhale, turning the hands down. Maybe they turn upwards towards the sky, maybe not. Either is fine. Navel towards the spine. Then we'll open everything up. And on the exhale, turning over. I'll take that one more time. Opening up and turning. Let's just come back to a nice, comfortable stand, shaking out the arms. If it feels good here. And so we'll start here, and I'll demonstrate everything. I'll do one round with bands, one round with weights. So I'm going to start with a loose strap or a loose band, if you will. So standing right in the middle of it. And we're going to start with just with bicep curls. So as I said before, if you don't have the bands, absolutely take some weights in your hands or cans or water bottles. And so we bring the elbows towards our hips. The fingers are facing out as we make some fists here, and we're going to curl it up. So bringing the fist towards the shoulders, we'll do 10 sets of everything that we do here today, stopping anytime you like. So this is 4. And then start to just notice your shoulders are away from your ears. The core is probably engaged. 7, 8, 9, I think, and 10. Awesome. Great. So you can let that go. Give your arms a little bit of a shake. We're going to come right down onto our backs. And I'm going to take another strap that's much tighter, has much more resistance. And I'm going to come onto my back with my knees bent, and I'm going to bring this band kind of to the middle to upper back. You can play with it once we get started. You'll see how it lands for you. So the strap is around my back. And so the idea here is we're going to press our hands up to the sky. So you find the resistance that's going to work for you. And then I'm going to open it out to the side. So it's like a shoulder fly on our back. So I'm going to tighten up my resistance a little bit. And again, you can use weights here. So up in the sky and then opening it out. And so we'll do about 10 of these. Checking in with the lower back, making sure that it feels good in your body. So my knees are bent. Pressing up. Opening it wide, my elbows bend a bit, and then I press up towards the sky. So again, about 10. Nice. We can let that go. Again, you might take a shake here, and we're going to find our way right back up. And so this kind of mimics a rowing. I'm going to take my more elastic resistance band here and stepping right at the center, a little bit of space between the feet so they're not right together. And I'm going to bend into the knees and then fold a bit so your back is nice and long. The shoulders are away from the ears. I'm kind of choking up here on the resistance band. And so we're going to draw the elbows in like a rowing machine almost, drawing it in and then releasing. This is wonderful for the chest, which of course we're going to do 10 of these. Is so helpful for any pain through the neck and shoulders, engaging in the core, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Two more. Nice. And then releasing that. And then just come up for a moment. We don't want to fatigue too much and just give your arms a shake. And then from here, we'll come right to deltoids. So let's say if we use a strap. So if we use a strap, so we can step on the strap. Again, I'm using a nice loose strap. And then bending at the elbows, fingers facing forward. Elbows are down by my rib cage. Hands are by my shoulders. And then pressing up towards the sky. And then bending the elbows down. So again, we'll do about 10 of these. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure you're breathing. 8. Starting to fatigue. And 10. Beautiful. Release that down. Give the arms a shake. And from here, we'll get right into our triceps. So I'll stick with the band, right? And then I'll switch to weights next time. So with the band, we'll come into a warrior one. We can step on this band if we're using a band versus the weights with the back foot, the left foot for me, and bending into your right knee. And so right away, just checking in with your alignment, that left foot is somewhat in that 45 degrees, but it's more about keeping your ankle, your knee, and your hip aligned. And so from here, once again, we'll bend into the elbows. My hands are behind, basically by my neck. And then really bringing an awareness to your tailbone, letting it be heavy, not quite tucking it, but we don't want to arch the back here. So you might bring a little bit of engagement into that left glute as we press the hands up to the sky. And again, we'll do 10 of these. Remembering to keep that tailbone nice and heavy. And 10. Beautiful. Release whatever you're holding. Let it go. Let's just take a moment before we switch sides and start the round again. So again, shaking up the arms, rolling through the shoulders. Nice. And so we'll come back to the bicep curl. So this time I'm going to use some weights, but you can stick with a band. I'm just to show for each thing that we're doing. I'm going to go back and forth. So find a stance where you feel secure on the ground. My feet are about 2/5 apart, and we'll face the fingers out. The elbows are by our side, and then curling the weights in, and we'll do about 10 reps. Make sure you're breathing. And 10 for me. Nice. We can place that down. Then we'll come down on our back. And actually, I've never done this one without the strap, but I'll give it a whirl. So if you are using the strap, remembering to bring it a little bit higher up on the back. I'm going to do this with weights this time. So again, laying down on your back, knees are bent, you can lengthen out through your spine. And then bringing the arms up towards the sky. I've got the weights in my hands. And then I'll bring a softness to my elbows as I open it out. And then pressing the hands back up to the sky. I must say it feels a little less awkward using weights versus a band. But that's just me. So that's 4. And 5. Really strengthening through the chest here. Getting into the biceps and the triceps. Go for one more. Beautiful. And then we can bring that down, finding our way back up. And we'll come back to that rowing. So again, I'll use weights here this time. Coming to stand, feet about hip width distance. Can roll the shoulders back and we'll bend into the knees with a little bit of a fold forward. And from here, we're going to lift the weights and draw the elbows back and up. So with this one, I'm just giving my little personal monologue here. The resistance band was better as my weights are actually too light. So sometimes I really love using those bands, a lot of times. Nice. And then from here, we can stand up, give a roll to the shoulders, and we'll get right into the deltoids. Just place this down. And so I'll use my weights here. So bending into the elbows, my fingers are facing forward, and then pressing the hands up to the sky, and then drawing the elbows down. So that's 2. We'll do 8 more. Check in that your head is not pressing forward. And 10. Beautiful. And then we can release that. And then we'll get right back to the triceps and taking a lunge. So if I remember, I had my left foot on the strap. So this time I'll bring my left foot forward and the right foot will be in the back. So if you're using a strap or a band, you can do that. or if you're using weights or a single weight, a heavier weight, the idea is to bring the weights behind you, and then we're bending into the elbow. Check in with the tailbone is, again, nice and heavy here. So you can squeeze into that right glute. And then we're going to press the hands up to the sky. So that's 1. We'll do 10. That's 2. Let's do 1 more. And 10. Beautiful. So we can release that. Bringing the weights down. And then from here, let's find a way down onto the ground. I'm going to do just a little bit of stretching, which is so good to do after you've been lifting, right? You might want to sit up on a block or books or a cushion. Just finding some support for your lower back and opening for the hips. And once again, let's roll through the shoulders. And reversing that. Nice. We'll take the left arm and just reach it across the body and either hook your right elbow into the left or use your hand to get a stretch through the left side. Take about 3 breaths here. Beautiful. You can release that. And the right arm comes across. And again, either using your hand or hooking your left elbow. Beautiful. Releasing that side. Let's bring our hands behind our back. You can take a band or a strap or interlace your fingers, letting the heart lift, but not the gaze. We don't have to look up and crunch through the neck, just letting the heart lift, the shoulders slide down. Maybe the hands are back a little bit away from your body. Bringing any movement right now to your neck that might feel good. And then we can bring our hands to the left hip, drawing that left elbow back. And either dropping the left ear to the left shoulder, or you might turn your head towards the left. Just notice what feels right in your body here. You might have a little bit of a nod, some movement, or just breathing into the stretch. Drawing that right shoulder down. Nice. Bringing the head back up to center, pressing the hands back, the heart lifts, and then the hands can come to your right hip as we draw that right elbow back. And either dropping the right ear to the right shoulder or turning your head to the right. Left shoulder descends, breathing into this stretch. Beautiful. Let's release that. Pressing the hands back again, the heart lifts. Releasing the fingers as we sweep the arms up to the sky. And we'll take cactus arms, again, lifting through the heart. Left hand can come down, right arm reaches over. If that doesn't feel good in your arm, you can have your hand down by your hip or behind your head. And then we'll switch sides. Left arm reaches over, right hand lands on a block or the ground. Inhaling back to center. can press the palms together, draw the hands down. And then right here with your hands together at your heart, let the shoulders slide down and press into your hands. As you do, you'll feel the engagement in the upper back. Such a wonderful move for it. If you feel you're hunching, if you're sitting a long time. Beautiful. You can release the hands, give a roll. Nice. And thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank yourself for showing up. And hopefully we'll see you for much more of these. Thanks so much.